After the hiccup in Paris, where some people thought the old Alcaraz might be back, especially now that it's his least favorite time of the year, the indoor season. But based on this match that he won against Alex de Minaur, new Alcaraz is back in business, and old Alcaraz is gone. That one match that he lost against Norrie is just a bad day. He was not happy with the surface. He thought it was so unbelievably slow. But interestingly, in an interview prior to his first match, he said that he likes the surface in Turin very much, but he also liked the surface in Paris. And if you watch that match in Paris, it's a funny statement from Carlos. Now, it's a little bit contradicting these statements that he has made, because according to this statement, it would appear that the court is slower this year in Turin. But after the match, Alcaraz said that the court was quite fast and that it suited Alex. Now, it's going to be very frustrating for Alex de Minaur, who's going to, in my opinion, be a solid top 10 player for many years to come, because he's unbelievably talented. But when he comes up against Alcaraz and Sinner, it's going to be tough for him to win matches. He has not won a match against either one of them. Now, his best chance against Alcaraz is on a faster court. He did take a set off of him in Rotterdam in the final earlier this year. So the match starts and Alcaraz is sharp. First serve of the match, something that I always look for. How is Carlitos serve? And it's a service winner. At 30 all, he delivers an ace, and at game point, he delivers another ace. So the serve could not have been better in the beginning of the match. However, Alex de Minaur holds, and Alcaraz has a tough game at 1-all that goes several times over deuce, but he ends up holding. He's up 2-1. He then breaks the de Minaur serve by hitting an excellent backhand down the line drop shot on break point. We often see the Alcaraz forehand drop shot, but his backhand drop shot is quite spectacular as well. He holds again. He's up 4-1, and now he has love 40 on the de Minaur serve. And I'm thinking Carlitos is on fire. He's going to blaze through this match. However, de Minaur wins 5 consecutive points and holds. In a game of tennis, not converting a love 40 game is always frustrating. I don't care what your name is, if it's Sinner or Alcaraz, or if it's at the club level. It hurts not to get the break when you're up 40 love, and it hurts even more when you lose 5 consecutive points. And this, of course, especially at the lower levels, can linger into the next game. Now, does it usually for the top players? No. But it did a little bit in the case of Carlitos, because at 15 all in the next game, serving at 4-2, he missed an inside-out forehand drop shot, which is his trademark shot that he can hit with his eyes closed. He then wins the next point, and at 30 all, if you want to watch this match back, you will see possibly the easiest forehand that Carlitos has ever missed. The ball was very close to the net, and Carlos sailed the forehand long, making a very easy mistake. Now, he bounces back and corrects that mistake by making a half-court forehand. And at deuce, Demon keeps the pressure on Carlitos and gets another break point, and Alcaraz ends up dumping a forehand into the net. Now we're back on serve, and both players hold, and they find themselves in a tiebreak. And Demon is playing really well, putting the pressure on Carlitos. He's up 3-1, then 5-3. But Carlitos is mentally tough in this tiebreak. He keeps bouncing back and getting mini breaks on the de Minaur serve. And the point at 5-4, if you want to watch this match back, you will see unbelievable athleticism from Carlos Alcaraz that he displayed in several occasions in this match. But this particular overhead reminded me of Pete Sampras. It was an exceptional lob from Alex, but the way Carlitos moved backwards and then got into the air, he actually made contact further behind his head than he would have liked, but he knocked that overhead down so athletically and even the tiebreak at 5 all. Alcaraz is clutch on the next couple of points, playing very solid tennis, and he wins the tiebreak 7-5. And early in the second set, Alcaraz is on fire, breaks the de Minaur serve to love, but only to dump his serve right away. Now, for all the de Minaur haters that say that he can't beat Sinner and Alcaraz because he doesn't have any power, I want you to take a look at the first point of the de Minaur service game at 1 all in the second set, because it is here where Alex hit a 100-mile-an-hour forehand winner. So He absolutely has firepower. There's no doubt about it. Does he have the same type of firepower as Sinner and Alcaraz? Of course not. And that's why he struggles against those two guys. But to say that Minaur doesn't have power, that's absolutely ridiculous. From a shot-making standpoint, this game at 1-all in the second set was so spectacular because not only did Alex hit that 100-mile-an-hour forehand cross-court winner, but at 30-all, Alcaraz delivers a monster inside-in forehand for a winner. And up break point, he hits a monster two-handed backhand down the line. His backhand down the line was working really well today. Alcaraz holds the next game, is up 3-1, and de Minaur serving at 15:30. Alcaraz turns on the extra power again. He hits a humongous forehand down the line for a winner. Break point 15:40. He gets pulled out wide to the backhand side and hits one of his trademark open stance two-handed backhand down the line winners. Again, vaporizing the ball, gets the double break, ends up holding until the rest of the set and wins it 6-2. A very good performance from de Minaur. As Alcaraz said after the match, Alex is very good at absorbing the pace and redirecting the ball on fast surfaces. So this was a tough match for Alcaraz, and it's the first time in 3 years that he actually won his opening match at the ATP Finals. So very good start for Carlitos. He played well. And as I said in my video yesterday, I do believe that he will hold on to the #1 ranking because all he needs is 3 wins. So there's 2 wins left for him to hold that #1 ranking. But what I want to see in this tournament is a final between Sinner and Alcaraz. What I don't want to see is a semi-final between Alcaraz and Sinner, which could easily happen because Sinner has a tough group. We have to see how he gets out of that one. I do think he's going to win 3 matches. And Alcaraz has the easier group, in my opinion. If both guys end up as #1 in their groups, they're not going to face each other in the semifinals. But if one of them finishes second in the group, the other one first, they could face each other in the semifinals, and that would be a bummer in my opinion, because after the season that both of these guys have had, it is only fitting that they meet each other in the final of the ATP Finals after they have faced each other in 3 consecutive Grand Slam finals. The second match today was Zverev versus Shelton. Zverev is now 5-0 against Shelton, and he's beaten him 4 times this year. And I watched all the matches they have played this year, and I was wondering when they faced each other in the Munich final, why this final was so one-sided. Of course, it was on clay, which is not Shelton's favorite surface at all, but Zverev was better in this match. He won it 2-4. Then I watched them play each other again in Cincinnati, and this time Zverev won 2-2. Now, these guys have played tight matches against each other. For example, in Stuttgart this year was 6-6, but that was on grass. And the first time they ever played each other, it was a very tight 3-set match that Zverev won. So Shelton for sure has the capabilities to beat Zverev, but I do think that Zverev likes playing Shelton for the following reasons. Here's the thing with Ben. He has an incredible serve. He has an incredible forehand, but the backhand, relatively speaking, to the top 10 is a weakness. And I find that Zverev can expose that weakness. He has a phenomenal down the line two-handed backhand, and he can hit that forehand cross-court all day long and find the Shelton backhand. Also, relatively speaking, Shelton struggles on the return of serve, and Zverev, one of the best servers on the ATP Tour. In today's match, he served 81% first serve, which is an absolutely insane number. So Zverev has confidence that he can hold serve against Shelton through the entirety of the match, and he also has confidence that he can get into the Shelton service games and extract a break. And I've been talking about this for a long time. The reason why players at this level can get into the Shelton service games, because in my opinion, he mixes his serve up too much. If he brought the heat consistently against the top players, I do think that it would be a lower first serve percentage potentially, but I think that he would be in control of his service games, and opponents wouldn't be able to find his weakness, which is his backhand. The worst thing for Shelton is to get into extended rallies with the top players. It's not only Sinner and Alcaraz, it's also Zverev and potentially other top 10 players as well. First set 2-all, Zverev manages to break the Shelton serve to love. He holds serve to love. Now he's up 4-2. Shelton holds, and with Zverev up 4-3, he again holds to love. up 5-3, he manages to break the Shelton serve for a second time. So this first set shows you the difficulties that Shelton has when he plays Zverev. He doesn't put Zverev in danger enough on his serve, and he himself is in danger too much on his own serve. So in my opinion, Shelton on a fast indoor court should not lose his serve twice in a set. That should be something that's impossible because, again, he has potentially one of the most dangerous serves on the ATP Tour. The guy, in my opinion, can break the speed record, and I do think that he doesn't bring the heat often enough. At 2-1 in the second, Shelton serving, they put a graphic on the screen, and it said Shelton was 2-11 on second serve points. And that just shows you the difficulty that Shelton has once he's in a rally. And it also shows you that Shelton goes possibly for safety too much on his second serve. So not only should he increase the risk on his first serve, he should also, in my opinion, increase the risk on his second serve. But this game at 2-1 was crucial for Shelton. Zverev was putting a lot of pressure on him, and he was looking to get the break, but Shelton stayed very tough in this game and ended up getting a hold. This game went on for a while, overdue several times. Once Shelton held, I felt like he started playing a lot better. Both players hold serve into the tiebreak, and Ben Shelton is on absolute fire. Up 5-3, Zverev is serving and gets a short forehand. That's an easy put away, and he goes inside out. Shelton guesses right and hits a spectacular down the line passing shot. And now he finds himself up 6-3, 2 set points on his own serve. On the first one, he hits a first serve to the Zverev backhand and comes to the net. And Zverev is so clutch and hits a clean down the line winner. On the second one, Ben serves on the tee, gets a half-court forehand and misses it into the net. I thought in this match, Ben missed more forehands into the net than he usually does. But now it's Zverev serving down 5-6, and he misses his first serve. And we know that sometimes Zverev on the second serve in crucial moments can get a little bit tight. He certainly did against Medvedev in the Paris quarterfinals, where both guys were serving 80 miles an hour. I think Medvedev served one at 78 miles an hour, second serve. And again, Zverev is a little bit tight on the second serve and delivers an 80-mile-an-hour second serve, very short and central in the box. Now, I'm sure a lot of players can relate that sometimes hitting a soft second serve is not as easy as it sounds, especially when we're talking about pressure situations, like having set point. Ben didn't do enough on that second serve return and basically played a return very central in the court. And on the next forehand, he tried to go more aggressive, but again, hit that forehand into the net. He was definitely having trouble today with net errors on his forehand side. Now, on the next point, Zverev does something that I've seen him do ever since he stepped foot on the indoor courts, and that is utilize his slice serve more. And I think that's increasing his insanely high first serve percentage even higher. At 6-all, he hit a phenomenal slice serve out wide that was aggressive, and Shelton barely got the ball back in play, and Zverev had a very easy forehand put away. Now, Shelton is serving at 6-7 to stay in this match. And Zverev manages to get into a rally with a very solid forehand return. What does Zverev want to do in this rally? Well, he wants to find the Shelton backhand, and he certainly manages to find that backhand on several occasions with his forehand cross court, and eventually Ben Shelton sprays a backhand wide, and Zverev wins the tiebreak 8-6 and collects his first round-robin victory. Look, I'm a big believer in Ben Shelton. It is obvious to a lot of us watchers that there are holes in his game, and he can improve on some of the weaknesses that he does have. And once he does, I do believe that Ben Shelton can be the third best player in the world. I'm not going to say that he's going to challenge Sinner and Alcaraz because he has to change a lot to be able to beat these guys in the late stage of a Grand Slam. But Ben Shelton has insane potential. Guys, I'm going to be covering the ATP Finals. Make sure that you subscribe to Intuitive Tennis if you haven't yet. Hit like on this video, and also subscribe to Intuitive Tennis Premium, which is my membership site that gives you a tremendous amount of benefits by clicking the link in the pinned comment. I will see you guys in the next video.